Hello everyone, welcome back to Must Have Mustangs. Today we're going to be installing Brembo 4-piston calipers from my track pack onto this car. I went ahead and took the wheels off, and on this side I took everything off. You start off by taking the caliper as a whole off, then taking the rotor off, then taking the back shield off. We're going to replace all those pieces. After that, after all the new stuff is on here, we're going to disconnect this line for the caliper and connect the new line for the Brembo brakes. That way we're not just letting this leak the whole time. Let's look at this side. This side, I just removed the caliper. All you gotta do is remove the bolts that go to the bracket. You don't gotta remove the actual caliper, just remove the bracket and it comes off. Zip tie it to the side. It's a bit dark. And take the rotor off. Now I'm going to remove the dust shield. These are my calipers. I bought them brand new. I went ahead and sanded them using a wire brush, brake clean. Just putting it to bare metal, then primering, spraying 3 quarts of primer with high heat primer, then 3 quarts of this paint and 3 quarts of gloss. They are brighter than they look. It's just dark in here. And they did come with the brake pads and rotors, which were in good condition. Alright, so I have the dust shields on. I bought this from CJ Pony Part for about 70 bucks for the pair. I put both sides on. I got this loose and I took it off also from right here. I just put the bolt back so I don't lose it. I'm going to put the rotors on now, but first I'm going to clean them up a bit and put them on. Then we're going to put the Brembos, then take this out. And remember, we have to bleed afterwards. Alright guys, so the first caliper is in. How is it still loose? All I did was connected the bracket. Well, this one doesn't have a bracket. It's one piece. I connected the bracket balls, if you want to say, down here. Can't see much. But yeah, make sure it's tight, super tight, because safety is #1 priority here. You don't want these coming loose on you. Go ahead and put the bracket here, whatever it's called, and put the other pin back in here. But first I'm going to do the other side. Other side, so far I only have the rotor in. Look at the rotor compared to the factory one. I have everything in place. Put the line, tied it up, tied it in here. For this part, make sure you get new copper washers if you are removing the brake line, or if you're getting a new one, you need new washers for that. Also over here, all good. I tightened it. I went ahead and put the rest of the hardware back on. You put one of them first, then you put the bracket and push it in, and you hammer the other pin from the back towards the front. Make sure you don't hammer onto the caliper. Use something like, for example, I used this extension. I put it on that thing and hammered on the end of that. I'm going to do the other side. I was just preparing this to bleed the brakes. So far so good. So it's another day. I had to wait for new spacers. I had some spacers, but they weren't the right spec for the vehicle. I just put them on to test everything and move it forward, but I just received these new ones. These are for S197. If you want to know the spec, these are, I will include the spec in the description if you want to know the specs for these, which ones to find. I did have to cut my studs a little bit. It was just like a little piece of metal that didn't have threads on it, because these would not clear the rims. Important, guys, if you have the PP1 wheels from S550, they will not clear the Brembo. So you're gonna need at least 1 inch. Well, not at least 1 inch is plenty of room, but I went with 1 inch because I wanted additional studs, and that should clear. After you bleed the vehicle, do that, bleed it properly. You bleed the inner one first, then the outer one, then back to the inner one, while keeping an eye on the reservoir. Make sure it doesn't go empty. You do the furthest one from the cylinder first, then you come to the one that's closest. And after that, go ahead and put your wheels back on, torque them, and then carefully test the brakes out. You don't want to go speeding. You just want to roll the car and see if the brakes work and slowly pick up the speed. I'm going to do the other side now. I'll let you guys know how that works. They're all together. It looks like a monster truck because I just set it down. Both sides are together. It does stick out a little bit, not too bad. It kind of is flush with the fender. Same with the other side. That's how they look. Right now, moment of truth. I'm gonna go take it for a test drive. Hopefully that goes well. I have a messy garage. And then that's how they look. Is the test drive went perfectly. The car is stopping right at the spot. I would have done 60 to 0 brake test with the track apps, but it's rush hour right now. I will do that later. Pick up speed little by little and try to brake to 0 and see if you feel anything. Then when you get back, check everything for leakage. And this job was a successful one, I would say, aside from the wheels not fitting these Brembos. But oh well, we fixed that. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share this video for more content.